I kind of forgot in terms of planning our order. That's okay, because we have really a whole nother month to grab the deals that are out there. Now, come the end of August, they're over. So if your kids don't go back to school until Labor Day, you really don't want to wait. You want to go ahead and grab the deals that you can while they're running, because we will not see them extend. Once that Labor Day weekend hits, we really see all these school items go on clearance. They need to make room for Halloween and all the other things that are coming. So you want to make sure that you go ahead and you shop early. That's your first tip. If you didn't already know that one, that your window is normally the week after July 4th until about the 3rd, maybe the 4th weekend into August, but sometimes that last weekend in August, they've kind of given up on back to school and they've really gone Labor Day. So, you're going to open up that week before Labor Day ad for Target. It isn't going to be back to school deals. It's going to be grills and grilling food and TVs. So you really want to try to hit what you can. Now, moral of that story. Now, some other deals for back to school. We're going to try to hit a lot of things tonight. So if you're specifically looking for something or a deal on items that your kids need, ask away. I'll be glad to help you try to find something specific or just generally some tips. We're going to go through those too. If you've got questions that are off topic, that is a-okay as well. So leave any questions that you have in the comments, and between myself or my husband, one of us will see them and I will try to make sure that I get you an answer. So as we go through, it really is kind of your chance to pick my brain on anything that you want, and I always just come with a topic. So Kathy, jumping right in there, looking for a tablet. I will tell you, Kathleen, if you're wanting a tablet that's not necessarily for school, we do see some sales now, but we actually see much lower prices on tablet type devices during Black Friday and holiday deals. So you can grab some, but you will see some better prices. Now, a couple options. I know over the weekend, I'm pretty sure these sales are still running. Kohl's has had Amazon Fire tablets on sale with Kohl's cash back, so I would check there. They're not on sale anywhere else right now. We will see some other Fire sales running, so in terms of tablets, that's the cheapest that you'll find. I know that may not be what you're wanting, because Fire tablets only work from the Amazon Fire store, meaning you're not always going to have every app available for them, but you'll have a lot. They surf the internet. You're able to read textbooks on them if that's what your kids need. So, they do function, and they're a great tablet for kids. If you're looking for iPads or the more expensive lines of things, I'd actually encourage you to hold out. There are a lot of rumors. No one knows exactly when Apple is going to release their new products. They're kind of all delayed because of production and chip issues. But right now, all the rumors for Apple products is mid-September. And we will see a brand new iPad that is released with that. So what that means, that's not necessarily the one you want, but it means that we're going to see sales and discounts on the ones that are out. They're going to come out with a new model, so it's a good time to grab the most recent model, if you know what I mean, in terms of iPad. So that's where I would look if you're going really high end. Samsung would be your third option for tablets, and we do see deals on them. I would personally watch Sam's Club. They regularly run that as a tech offer. It'll be for 3 or 4 days, and we kind of see this once a month, where we will see the Samsung Galaxy A tablet as low as $99 with an additional memory card thrown in. So jump on that one if you see Sam's Club run it. Okay, so to jump into some other things, and then I'll come back to some of y'all's questions too. I mentioned going ahead and shopping now, making sure we don't go into or past the end of August, come Labor Day. Back to school's over, even if your kids are starting late this year. I do want you to watch sales. Now, I will tell you, this year is a little different than we've seen in past years. We've seen rotating sales in past years. We're not really seeing that this year. So a lot of what we're seeing is it's there. That price is the price that it's going to be, with some little sales thrown in. But Target, Walmart, Staples, Publix, they've all discounted their school supplies, and right now that's kind of what you're going to get. You may see a little fluctuation, jump from 50 cents to 25 cents for 1 week, and then it's right back up. So in terms of your basic items, you're kind of good to go ahead and grab those basic items now. I have a link that I'll have my husband put in for you guys, but I did make a buy price list for this year. It's the general prices that we're seeing in a lot of stores for Crayola crayons and Bic pencils, and you get the idea. So use that buy price list to help you know, based on the store that I've chosen, is this the best price that I could get? The other thing that I would recommend is that you actually use the item search that's on Southern Savers. So again, I reference this a lot, but this is right here. It's at the top of the site. Search for the word pencils or glue. Get the idea. You're gonna get a good list of those items. We're also doing that for you each week and on Tuesdays, so it'll go up tomorrow, but you can see last week's in terms of back to school. Click on categories, click on back to school. You'll see last week's roundup. We'll post another roundup coming up every Tuesday, but a roundup of all of the back to school deals that we can find. This is also going to be any other back to school deals that we find as well. So look for this. So top back to school deals, posting it every single week of just the roundup of what we're seeing across the board. So use that to kind of give you an idea of who has the lowest price on the items that I need this week. Now, again, those prices aren't massively changing. We will see some little sales, but not a lot of big sales this year that are changing. Another difference that we're seeing, I never would have said this before 2021, maybe, it's all thanks to 2020, I guess. But normally back to school season is the time to grab a computer. And guys, I'm honestly going to tell you that that's not the case this year. We're seeing some sales, but it is minute compared to what we used to see. For example, in years past, Staples was always the winner on laptop deals, and they would have pages of laptop deals in their weekly ad. The Staples weekly ad this week had 2 computers in the ad. So there isn't pages and pages of laptops. A lot of that is supply issue. And in case you didn't take economics in high school, when we have supply issues and we have demand behind them, prices are only going to go up. So honestly, if you have a computer, even if it is limping along, this is the year to stick duct tape and Band-Aids on it if you can, because we're not seeing crazy good deals. Hopefully by Black Friday, we will see some good laptop deals. I know if you've got a kid going off to college and they need a laptop, this is not going to help you. I might actually encourage you to check out the website that I've recommended in the past. Whenever they share good coupon codes, I always try to share it with you guys, but DellRefurbished.com, they sell basically off-lease Dell computers, and they usually run great coupon codes on the weekends. So not necessarily on a Monday night, but great coupon codes if you can. 45% off any laptop that you see on their site above $500, which basically makes a $500 laptop $280. That's a great price. Yes, they're refurbished. Yes, they're off lease, but they hold up really well. We have some that our kids are still using that we bought probably 3 or 4 years ago now. Even if it's just to tide your kids over for that brand new laptop in another year or whatnot, when things are hopefully a little bit more back to normal, this really isn't the year. So I hate to say that, but it's the truth. It's just what we're seeing across the board. Not a lot of great laptop sales. And what we are seeing is kind of painful. $400 is a sale price for no-name processors. That used to be a good price for a Intel Core i5, which is a mid-level fast computer. And that's not the case now. So just hold tight. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news on computers, but it's the truth. So just so you kind of know what we're seeing or what we're not seeing in this situation, this is not the year for computers. And hopefully by the fall it will be. I know the same for Apple. This has been a holdup for them. They're about to release new Apple MacBooks, hopefully in September or October, but they're also having production issues behind theirs. So even when those do release, I suspect they're going to sell out pretty quickly. So just be ready if you're on that, counting down the minutes till a Mac release. I hope you're at the computer when they do actually release. Okay. That's the only bad news I have. Across the board, we're seeing great prices though and good sales. So you do have your 50-cent crayons and your 25-cent products. It's just our big ticket items that aren't really there this year. So Okay, we'll move on to happier topics, hopefully. Let me hit some of y'all's questions. I know I saw Tanya, I think it was, ask, what was that backpack? Tara, sorry. What was the backpack that I've had for years? I could actually go grab it for you. It's in our closet. It's a JanSport. So it's a typical, it is not JanSport Trans, which is kind of, they've knocked them down a little bit, but is a straight up JanSport backpack. It was my backpack in high school. I used it all through college. And if you catch me in an airport, it's probably the backpack that's on my back in an airport too. So still using it. I'm not going to say how old it is at this point, but it was a great backpack. Other backpack options, if you are hunting for them, Lands' End, LL Bean, they do run sales. LL Bean does not run sales nearly as often as everybody else, so I'd probably go Lands' End. We've seen 50% off backpacks twice already. We'll probably see that at least 2 more times before the school year starts. So wait for those coupon codes, 50% off Lands' End backpacks along with free shipping. We can usually get both tied together. So it makes a great backpack, like $17 in the end, which is crazy good for a Lands' End backpack. Not to mention for any backpack, because I mean, Target had the JanSport Trans, which is again, they're like knockdown level, for $30 this past week. So if I can get Lands' End for 17, we're talking. So hold out for that one if you can, if you're in that backpack hunt. I know I've gotten specific questions from folks asking for rolling backpacks, and I'll confess, guys, I'm actually kind of struggling to find those. So if any of you have found great rolling backpacks, or in the past you've bought great rolling backpacks for your kids, Lands' End used to sell them, they don't anymore. So I'll knock that one from your list. But if anyone else has any great tips, I would love to hear them, because it is one of the most common Facebook messages that I'm getting lately. I would love to have an answer for folks, because I'm just not really seeing sales or even the product on a lot of pages. I have seen a lot of high school pages that are saying no rolling backpacks, so maybe that's what it is, I don't know. But I know some of you are specifically hunting them, so hopefully somebody can help, whoever that is, in the comments, but you can help me too, just so I can answer people's questions later. That would be great. I'll take your expertise on that one. Okay. And Nadine, did I get a scratch off card from Staples? I don't think we did. But we were out of town and all our mail came in a big, huge pile. So I could blame my husband on this one, but he kind of went through and threw away anything that looked like junk mail. So maybe I should go digging through the trash. Did it come in the mail, Nadine? Nadine says she could, that we can win up to $500, and she got $15. That's pretty sweet. So we should all check our mail then, or if that's where it came from. So a few other things, and I guess this is my husband chiming in. If you are working with an old computer and you need to make it last, so some things that you could look at doing, maybe buying your current computer some more memory, looking at different peripherals, which is like different keyboards, mice, whatever you need to do, or possibly just a new monitor. So these things are still there. There's no shortage on these items, and or demand's not necessarily super high on those items either. But to see if maybe you could upgrade your current computer a little bit rather than getting a brand new one, get you through until potentially, if you could wait until next year. You know, that's a really long time if you're dealing with a laptop that's barely making it, but that would be your goal. Kathy asks, when's the best time to buy a riding lawnmower? After Labor Day is your goal. I know that you need it right now, but that is when we see all of our outdoor equipment, patio furniture, etc., all go on clearance. So if you can hold out until after Labor Day, those are when you're going to see your best prices. Potentially Labor Day weekend with some sales, but usually after Labor Day is ideal. Okay, Lynn, can I help you explain what's happening with used car prices soaring? It's economics. So this is a tricky one across the board. Used car prices are soaring. If you want to sell your used car, it could be a very good time for you. A lot of this is supply and demand on the maker's side, and some of it is also new China policy. So if you haven't heard all of the things that are happening China-wise, companies that are based in China but traded on the US stock market are getting severely hurt by China right now. So this is a chunk of our car manufacturers. So new cars are being impacted by this. Another example, this isn't just cars, guys. I actually got an email today. One of my ways that I would recommend you make side money is the folks that teach English online to kids in China and other Asian countries. And those countries literally got banned in China today, banned, because they are American companies trying to work with Chinese children. So this is across the board China policy issues that are factoring down along with supply issues, all affecting new cars, which have increased new car prices in some markets up to 20% over where they were last year, along with inflation, which is a whole nother ball of wax, and it's only gonna get worse. Sorry guys, hate to be the bearer of that news, but it is. So all of that factors into used cars as you go down. So kind of the fast answer on that for economic policy, it isn't gonna be pretty and it isn't gonna change. I would recommend, if you have a car that is working great, kind of like your computer, let's hold on to that and let's do the repairs that your car needs, because at this point, repairing a current car is going to be cheaper than getting a new car. So sorry if you own a car dealership. It's a scary place for any of us that would want to go in and try to get a deal on a car right now. They're literally, some of them 20% more than they were last year, which is a huge increase on a very expensive purchase. Okay, so, and that one's kind of a big answer, but it's a lot of things impacting that one. When are the sales at Walmart going to show up? So if you mean on Southern Savers, I did post that one this afternoon. I forgot to post that list and I apologize. In terms of back to school at Walmart, those sales have already started. And I actually made a list for Walmart back to school that is just a standing back to school list. Those prices will not change because it is Walmart's all the time prices. So if you are on the Walmart page on Southern Savers, you will see a completely separate list for 2021 Walmart school supplies. These are their standing prices for school supplies. So I kind of did it for two ways. One, that you could use it to have your items flow into the item search. So if you're looking for those best deals on crayons, Walmart would be listed. But if you're also just a big Walmart person, they're right there. You'll be able to grab all the deals that you want. Those deals are online and in store. So if you want, you can easily add them to a Walmart pickup order. The same for Target. Add them to a Target pickup order. You don't actually have to go into the store, and you've got your school supplies. Since we're specifically talking Walmart, I do want to mention, if you have not already done this, the Ibotta offer for free school supplies is still running. So I posted these probably about a week and a half ago now, but they're still out. These are good at Target online or Walmart in store, H-E-B for folks in Texas, and Instacart, I think, are the, or Shipt, I'm trying to remember now. Shipt and Instacart. So those are the only 4 places that you can use them. Not Target in-store, only Target online and Walmart. So these are completely free products. You're gonna grab them and you're gonna get back $2.39 on that product for number 2 pencils. This is Ticonderoga, number 2 pencils, 12 pack. You need to buy exactly what they say, and the deal is 1 of each offer, but go ahead and load them into your account. Check that little plus sign, turns into a check mark, and then go ahead and order them. So Walmart in store, Target online, Shipt, Instacart, or H-E-B for my Texas folks. This is a 2, 4, 6, 8. It was 10. It's now 9. 1 item is sold out. Ibotta never tells us that, but they are in this one because I don't know if you guys have been watching the Olympics, but they're actually like putting advertising behind this. I've seen commercials for this while we watch the Olympics lately. So, grab these while you can. 1 per offer. All the offers are 1 per person, obviously. If you're not seeing these in your Ibotta account, I know for me to activate them, I actually had to go to Ibotta on my desktop and click a little button. And then once I clicked the little button on Ibotta and desktop, then they showed up in my app. So that may make them work for you if you're not seeing them in your app. You do not have to use the Ibotta desktop extension. I don't use that. You can just use your app for it if you want. It'll be just fine to load them, and then you have them. They're in your account. So that is, just to name them, free pencils, free pink pearl erasers, a free 5-star 3-subject notebook, free peanut butter and jelly, and Kleenex tissues, which is on like every kindergarten school list, as Carrie reminded me recently. and free bread. So we've got sandwiches and we got paper and pencils. What more do we need, right? All back to school handled. So do that. Take advantage of that. There are some other, before I move on here, there are some other Ibotta offers specifically for back to school. So Zebra pens. We've had a number of other offers showing up. So just check your apps before you check out. It's an easy way to save. We don't have a lot of paper coupons this year. BIC does have a printable for $2 off $5 in BIC stationery. That's in the database on Southern Savers. But we're not seeing a lot more. We used to have insert coupons here. Times have changed. So most of them are all in mobile apps. Make sure that you're using them to get those extra offers on the things that you want. Okay. Oh, and my husband, I guess he just dug through the trash and he told me we did not get a Staples mailer. So he's out of, I guess, the doghouse for accidentally throwing that away. Okay, so to dive in into some other things here, one of my biggest tips, it still holds, even though we're not seeing exactly what we've seen in the past, I still need you to remember that these are the only sales that we will see for back to school all year. We will not see spring sales for back to school. So if you think your kids are gonna need, more in the spring, you need to buy it now. Lock it up if that's how you keep them out of it, but you need to go ahead and grab it now and get enough to last you all school year. So personally, I don't know how your kids are, but one box of 24 count crayons, it does not last us very long, mostly because my kids literally, they cannot leave it in the box. So let me just wheel school over here for a second. I don't know if your kids are this way. We've already started school in our house, by the way, guys. So we can all tell time if we need to. But there's something about a box of crayons that's like, we can't leave them in the box. We have to take them and dump them out immediately. And from there, it's all downhill. So one box of crayons isn't gonna cut it. I don't know what's on your school list, but I'd say go for 2 or 3, 4, get some for home. Arts and crafts, they're 50 cents a box. Getting enough, because when it's not on sale, it's painful. The same for paper, for filler paper, all those items, we do not see them back on sale again. If you want extra, so for me, I love to pack Operation Christmas Child boxes, and I do it actually with my American Heritage Girls troop, to where we'll pack like 30 or 40, but I'm the one that's usually gathering most of our fun things to go in them. This is also your time of the year to grab those items. So if you're looking to donate items, you can donate so much more when we're talking 25 cents for things than when you're paying full price around Christmas time to pack those boxes. So, think outside of the box as well. If you're, not necessarily needing a lot of school supplies, it's still a great time to grab things even for that. Stockings even, seriously, what kid isn't excited to get another pack of crayons in their stockings? I know my 6-year-old is. So all of that, it needs to happen now. We will not see sales again, just to emphasize that. So buy double, buy triple, whatever that is for your family, or enough to donate as well if that's your goal. So if you need something big, I mentioned monitors or adding onto your computer in other ways. We do have a Staples $20 off any $100 coupon code this week. So if you are wanting a lot, it is a number code. I meant to look it up for you guys. I wrote it on my notes and then I forgot to look it up. So I will look it up for you and tell you that code here in a second. But use that. It is good on monitors. It is not good on laptops or computers, but it is good on all the other things that you may want with your computer. So if you are looking at kind of making some updates or some changes. So that code is 32547. They don't make that very easy for us. 32547. That's the Staples code. It is good through the 28th, which is Thursday? I don't know. Might not even be. Might be Wednesday of this week for $20 off any $100 purchase at staples.com. And you're going to get free shipping as well. So if you are looking for a new computer mouse, a new monitor, those are all great items to grab. New office chairs, whatever it might be. That's a great coupon to use. Again, we don't have deals on computers, but any sort of discount we can get, we'll take. And it does make for some decent ones. Another one to remember with Staples, this isn't back to school, but they do sell break room items, as they call it. So paper towels and toilet paper and cleaning supplies and snack foods, they have them, and they have them in bulk. So you can still get some great prices and use your $20 off coupon for that too if you're really hunting for something. Other options for you though, in terms of deals that are running, and we posted this one earlier today, but I will share the link for this one too, kind of digging this one up. But Amazon is currently running $10 off any $25 purchase of select back to school supplies. And on this one, all you need to buy is $25 before the $10 instant savings. So you're gonna grab any of these items that you want, and a lot of them are on sale, and they're gonna give you $10 off instantly at checkout. So as you know, whatever it is that you might want, most of them are Sharpie Expo. We've got some pens in here, some Paper Mates, some glue. So there could be a chunk here. 10 off of 25 is pretty sweet. So at least look through that list and see if there are things that you want, because seriously, that's, I mean, like 40% savings, not to mention that they're already on sale too. So this is a Elmer's glue 8 count, regularly $6.85 is $3.99 right now. So you get to add all those items up. It is the after sale price, but I just need $25 worth of items, and I'm gonna get that $10 off at checkout. So take advantage of that one. This one with Amazon deals, sometimes they'll have an end date, but a lot of times, this one is actually gonna be good for, it appears, a month. We'll see. They don't always last the month. So this is the terms and conditions. They're not always around as long as we want, and the prices do change. So take advantage of it if you want. Let's see if the terms and conditions also give us any specifics. It doesn't look like you're going to be limited. So if you wanted to do it more than one time, looks like you totally can. That is not in the fine print that I'm seeing in a quick perusal. So if you want to do this more than one time, I highly recommend one $25 order, $10 instant savings, another $25 order, so that you can take advantage of that $10 savings. If there's more that you want from this offer, don't buy $50 worth. You're only going to get one $10 savings. So get out a calculator and play with your items. Get them to equal right where you need it to be. You'll get a much better deal that way. In terms of discounts, don't forget about Target. Target is running through this week a 15% off Target Circle offer for teachers. You do have to log into their site and verify that you are a teacher. It also applies to homeschoolers. But it is 15% off of all school supplies using that Target Circle offer. It does end this Saturday. So you had a 2-week window. It started last week. This is the second week of that. So don't miss it. Dollar General is also offering a discount for teachers on their website. So you can sign up and get that coupon as well from Dollar General, obviously to use in Dollar General. And for teachers as well, to just stay in that theme, Staples also offers teacher discounts. Really, they offer increased Staples rewards. Office Depot also is doing this. But one thing Staples does do, and in the past Office Depot has done as well, hopefully they would as well for you still honoring it, is that they allow you to buy more than the current limit. So on some of the deals that are 25 or 50 cent deals, there'll be a limit of 10, but teachers are allowed a limit of 30. So if you are a public school teacher and you're trying to grab all those deals that you can, they are going to let you do that. So take advantage of all the teacher discounts that you can find, or share those with anyone that you know that is a teacher that needs those discounts, because I know so many of those folks are buying things out of their pockets for their classrooms. So anything that will help them kind of helps all of us. Wendy asked, have we missed all the backpack deals with Lands' End? So we've already seen 2, Wendy, but I suspect we will see at least 2 more before the end of August. So I don't think you've seen the end of them. I mean, you have to think about it this way. For them, this is peak season, and they want to sell those backpacks just as much as you want to buy them. So we will see more coupon codes come out, but what you're waiting for is a 50% off coupon code, ideally 50% off with free shipping. We saw that one last week over 2 days, and hopefully we're going to see it again. My guess would be the end of this week. They'll kind of try to spread it out so it doesn't feel like it was right on top of each other, or potentially right at the beginning of next week will be the next one. So somewhere around before or after the weekend. Lands' End in particular really likes middle of the week sales. So they don't run a lot of great coupon codes on the weekends. They run a lot of great coupon codes on like Tuesday, Wednesdays, or Wednesday, Thursdays. I don't know why they do. No one else does that, just Lands' End. So, keep an eye on that one. Also, if you want Lands' End in particular, make sure you're getting their emails and that you're checking for their emails, because they do regularly send out coupon codes specifically to email that don't work unless you click through the email. And those coupon codes can be even higher. We've seen 60% off, 60% off and free shipping. So yeah, just make sure that you're getting those emails just so you can possibly catch an even better deal. Can't guarantee you, but it never hurts to add that one to the list and make sure that you're getting them as well. Okay, to go through, trying to make sure I don't miss anyone's questions too. Oh, and Lily's saying most of the K through 12s in her area don't want roller bags. I know, and that's probably why I can't find them either, Lily. I think it's a lot of them. Oh, and Carrie, can you do drive up so they give you the free products and they shop for it? Yes. So the Target Online, Carrie, is considered whether it was a shipped or a drive up pickup order. Those are still going through the same system with Ibotta. So if you do a pickup order with Target, you were not in the store, it is still considered a Target Online order. So you can add that to a pickup order. Make sure you've loaded the offers with Ibotta, because remember, with Ibotta, Target is a direct link store. So meaning if I click here and I click on Target Online, it's going to take a minute to load. They're all going to show up. So I'm under Target Online. But if I am logged into my Target account, that's how Target knows to tell Ibotta that I bought these things. So I do need to load them. Then as long as I check out in my normal Target account that is linked with Ibotta, I'm going to get that back in my Ibotta account. So just so you kind of know how that's going to work. And I did hear from somebody last week that was waiting. Theirs did not apply for almost 48 hours. So don't panic. They're not going to show pending. They're not going to have a hold on them in any way. They're just going to look the normal way until Target clears what you have purchased with them. So, and then you'll see the money come back. You'll get an email that says that you have funds that have been added to your account. So you just have to be a little patient with it, but you will see it. And so far, this offer, seriously, it's been around, these Ibotta offers have been around now for almost 2 weeks, and they're still there, which is exciting. They don't normally hang this long. And I think a lot of that is the advertising that they're putting behind it. They're doing their best to keep these offers alive as long as they can, so their ads aren't useless to them. That would be pretty bad advertising tactics on their part. So hopefully, it doesn't mean you need to be ordering them right now. I think you'll be okay. Even if you ordered them 2 days from now, I think they'll still be there. Okay. And Mikkel's saying she did Walmart curbside and the free items worked for her too. Which is great to know, because it does say Walmart in store on those. So thanks for chiming in on that one. It's good to know that it's going to work for lots of folks. Oh, that's awesome. Jessica says in her county, the school board has decided to use the CARES Act money to buy every child's school supply list except the backpack. That's pretty sweet. And another Jessica is trying homeschooling your pre-K son, which is awesome. In terms of homeschooling pre-K and kindergarten, it's incredibly simple. We are in first grade, and I wish I could lift this up, but it's kind of heavy. I guess I can do it this way. So this is my stash for first grade, and it looks kind of big here. It's a lot of textbooks, but there's a teacher's manual and there's a kid's manual with every single one of those. So all of this is taking us like an hour to get through, and that's what I love about homeschool, because then we can move on with our day. We didn't have to spend, 8 hours sitting in a classroom. We did English and math and everything else all the way through. So I love it. I love that you're at least going to try, and pre-K is the age to try with, because it's super, super easy. Okay, so just to jump through. And our teachers have Amazon wish lists and items are mailed to the school. Can I use the 10 off 25 when purchasing items for them? You can, if they have put those items on their wish list. So I guess it depends for you, Beverly, how you want to handle that on. So she specifically, kind of cutting off the top of my head there. I didn't put it back. So to go back to Amazon here, she's specifically mentioning this 10 off when you buy 25. So if a teacher added one of these specific items to their wish list, great. If they didn't add that specific item to their wish list and you're shopping through the wish list, then it isn't going to apply it. So if I go and I say, oh, well, they asked for Sharpie markers, so I'm going to get them this one, it won't show up in their wish list as being fulfilled. It's like somebody went and shopped your wedding registry but didn't actually mark off that they had bought the item for your wedding registry, so you ended up with like 10 different towels. You get the idea. So that's what's going to happen here. Now, if they registered for these specific items on their teacher's wish list, then yes, you are going to get the instant savings, and it's going to mark off that you had purchased the item. If you don't care about them getting extras, then go for it. Buy it from the sale side. But anything that is put in a wish list, and by the way, if you have a teacher that's making one, any of these items can be put into a wish list. So if you've not ever done that before, it is super easy. Right down here in this corner, let's see, it kind of kicked over. So in this corner is a add to list, and you can make a wish list for anything that you want and add away. And so that's how a teacher can do that. And then the teacher can share that wish list with you and be set on any of those items that they wanted. They can definitely add them. On those participating items, you'll see this right here. It says save $10 when you buy 25 shop items. So that's how you're going to tell if their items do qualify for that particular promotion. Any deals on desks? So Lily, we have seen one or two pop in, and they're lasting like a day or two, kind of changing up based on what that desk is. So Amazon has been running some on just random desks. So with Amazon, what I would recommend is you go today's deals at the top, and you can sort under deals for furniture. So if you have not ever done this on the side, furniture is an option, and you will see some desks that will get thrown in the furniture from time to time, standing desks, office desks. So look through these and see what's popping in under today's deals. A lot of these don't change a ton. They hang around. This one's actually, there are some lightning deals in there too, so you may find some things. Another place that I would check, Lily, is Wayfair. So wayfair.com, and check their clearance in particular. They do have some great prices. I actually have a desk that's sitting over here in a box that I bought on Prime Day, and I've still not put it together. It's for school. We aren't quite there with this one kid. My older kids don't start back for another 3 weeks. It's my younger two that have already gotten back in. So we'll make it happen. But Wayfair or Amazon would be my go-to places for desk deals, or checking locally. So don't forget about your Facebook marketplaces and your Craigslist for things that other people are selling, just trying to get rid of some furniture around the house. You can end up with a pretty sweet desk too, just looking locally. On that note, there are other things that I would throw into that local category as well. Graphing calculators. We do have the lowest price right now. Last week Target ran it. This week Staples is running it, but it's the lowest price we see. So a TI-84 graphing calculator, $99 at Staples this week. It does not work for the $20 off Staples coupon. I'm sorry, it's one of the many exclusions, but it is the lowest price that we see for them. So if you're needing a graphing calculator, that's the lowest price new, but you'll still find some great prices hunting around used. So check Facebook Marketplace, ask around, ask friends. Do any of you have kids that took a class last year and they don't need their graphing calculator anymore? And see what you can get from just friends offering you theirs for used prices, much better than new all the time. So Justice, am I saying that it's better to wait on the Lands' End backpacks? So what I want you to wait for is a 50% off coupon code, and we will see them. So if you aren't seeing that right now, which I'm pretty sure you aren't, they ran it last week on Wednesday and Thursday, I'm pretty sure, hold off. We will see it probably 2 more times between now and the end of August. Every time we see it, I will try to let you know because it is the best offer that they run. But that's what I would wait for. That's your best price on Lands' End. If you don't want to wait around and you want to grab a 40%, we see 40% all the time with Lands' End, but 50% is your magic moment. That's when you want to jump as soon as you see that code, and we will. It's not over. You will see more sales, I promise. Okay. So a few more things. One I haven't hit on, but I meant to at the very beginning, and that is tax-free weekends. So just a reminder, we do still have tax-free weekends, and for some of us, that's really big. And for others of you, it's kind of tiny and really nitpicky in terms of what your state allows. So I'm gonna have my husband stick a link in for this one if he hasn't already. He may have beat me to it, I'm not sure. But make sure that you keep tabs on when your tax-free weekend is. Keep in mind that you may not have one. Georgia, North Carolina, there is no tax-free weekend for you guys in the South, but you've got folks nearby. So you could always, have something shipped to South Carolina or drive over and pick it up if you wanted. Some states, it is really nitpicky. It's clothing $100 or less, school supplies $50 or less. It still will include all those little tiny purchases, just to kind of clarify what that means. So Arkansas here, Florida does the same thing. It doesn't mean a school supply purchase. So this is Florida right here. School supplies $15 or less. It does not mean that your total purchase has to be less than $15. It means that anything that was in the transaction that was a school supply and that costs less than $15 will be tax-free. Anything that was a school supply and costs more than $15 will not be tax-free. So that's really what that fine print is there on that $15 or less, just so you're clarifying what the understanding part. The clothing $60 or less. It's not the entire purchase. It's per item on that. For most states, I can't speak for every single one of them, but 99% of them, that's what they mean. The most relaxed states, I am thankful to say, we live in one of them. Massachusetts, South Carolina, and I guess it's really just Massachusetts and South Carolina have decided to make this super, super simple. Those two states have just a flat $2,500. Anything that you grab basically on personal property is tax-free. So that's kind of exciting. It's a pretty big number. If you were hoping to find a computer deal, that's the weekend I would grab it. If you lived or you have family that live in a state that does have computers, and a number of these states do have computers in the list with a higher level, so it's not just Massachusetts and South Carolina. But if you're near a state and you're looking at a $500 laptop, not paying tax on that $500, that's a pretty chunk of money back in your pocket. So definitely look for what your weekend is so that you can be watching for it. I know if you're hoping like me for that new MacBook, it isn't going to be out in time for that tax-free weekend, but if you are wanting to make that big purchase, which is a big purchase this year for that computer, or computer supplies, a lot of those are also included here, printers, etc. That's the weekend that I would do it. The biggest weekend, just to give you a big tip here, is the weekend of 8/6 and 8/7. So not this coming weekend, but the weekend after. I think there's like 8 states that are all on that particular weekend. I'm not saying it's necessarily yours, but just so you kind of know what you're looking for. Alabama already had theirs. Sorry, folks in Alabama, you missed your mark. But a lot of other states are still running. Tennessee's is this coming weekend, and then a whole bunch of other folks after Tennessee. So hold out if you can. Oh, and Mississippi, Justice says, is this weekend as well. I'm kind of skimming the list really quickly. Mississippi is this weekend, as is West Virginia. So those are the 3 this coming weekend: Tennessee, Mississippi, and West Virginia. And then a whole bunch of states the next weekend after that. Carrie, for South Carolina, ours is 8/6 and through 8/8. So it starts on Friday and it runs through Sunday, like basically 2 weeks from now. Not this coming weekend, but the weekend after. In terms of tax-free weekend too, if you aren't, this used to be kind of like crazy crowd weekend. This applies to online purchases too, guys. So you don't have to go anywhere. Most online sites are really all using paid for automated tax programs that they've purchased. And this is in those tax programs. So if you are shopping on Amazon and you're grabbing things on tax-free weekend, it's going to be tax-free. It's going to show up as tax-free. Walmart, Target, they know this. If we're dealing with little mom and pop online stores, they may not know it. But most of our big box stores, if I want to place pickup orders, that's fine. Do not feel like you need to brave any crowds or go out around people. If you don't feel comfortable with that, you will still get tax-free weekend and shop at home. That is totally doable. So you're good to go. And yes, Lily, if you do shop online, your tax is determined by your delivery address. So thank you for pointing that out. So if I shopped online, but I wanted to send something to my mother-in-law in Georgia, it is not going to be tax-free. It is based on the shipping address of the item as to how that tax is going to apply. So for example, if you had family that lived in South Carolina, you could do that, and then they could either hold it for you until you saw them, or maybe you meet them somewhere. You would still get the South Carolina tax-free offers, even though you don't live in South Carolina, it's where you had it shipped. So yes. And yes, Carrie, I'm with you. I don't really want to be around the crowds either. I'm very happy to have it all shipped and sent straight here. Along those lines, let's talk online for one other topic too, and that is books. So the older your kids get, the more you end up purchasing for them. And this doesn't necessarily apply for public schoolers. I know the school is paying for your books, but homeschoolers' curriculum and books is something that we deal with. Actually, we just got a big case of books that I ordered this week for our older kids. But if you're off ordering books, then you're sitting there trying to find the best deals that you can. So if we're trying to find textbooks for various things, it really is going to come down to the same tips that we would use for almost every single thing. So look used. If I'm on Amazon, don't go with that brand new price that pops in on Amazon site. Look over in the corner and see if somebody offers that textbook completely used for you. In terms of used, your good or good acceptable, we've found have always been perfect. We've not had any issues with good versus good, or good versus good and acceptable versus amazing, whatever. They've all been great. We've rented textbooks from various places too. I'm trying to pull up some examples here if I can. My kiddos are taking Spanish 4 this year. My high schoolers take some classes online. So this was one of their books, Spanish 4. I can get it new for $7.72. It doesn't always work out this way, or used for $7.18. We did go new on this one. But on your big textbooks, look at renting them. Look at the price of renting them and consider whether they're going to need them for the whole year or not. All rentals on Amazon in particular are only 6 months. If you're looking at renting through Chegg and through some of the other textbook rental places, they're also normally only 6 months. So if you've got a high schooler that's taking a college class, we've got some dual enrollment kiddos here, then I'm going to end up having to rent that twice, which is double the price. So you do have to kind of learn these little ins and outs of buying textbooks. Used is definitely the way to go. Hunting around, not just Amazon for used. There's a lot of other places for used. One of my favorite things to do, honestly, with textbooks is just to take their ISDN number. Or ISBN, sorry, I said it wrong. That little number that's above the barcode. A lot of times the school will give you that number if they're telling you to buy that book, and search for just that number. Don't type anything else in, just that number on Google. And Google Shopping will usually return a bunch of results across the top of your Google search page, and a lot of those are going to be used. They're going to be on Biblio. They're going to be on various used book sites. So you're not just stuck with whatever folks are selling on Amazon, but you're going to have other options that are out there. And in terms of used, we do this too. So my kiddo, we've just started a week ago, but every time we do reading now, she always asks me, do we know this person? No, we don't know this person. But guys, this was a good example. And this is a kid's textbook for reading. Literally nothing was written in except some mama wrote her kid's name on the front cover. And I could get this for a crazy cheap price. So, used is okay. And whoever Logan Hoover is, we think about you daily. But that's okay. We saved some money. Thanks for sharing your book with us. Jessica, great tip too. Her library has textbooks. Yes, so check with your public library. Our library as well does that. They sell textbooks and even the teacher's guides to go with those textbooks. Depending on where you are, you need to be looking at that now. Because our library also does not charge late fees. So you're going to have some mamas that don't return those. And that's not going to be so helpful for you. You're going to want to go ahead and be first in line, if you can, on those textbooks. Another option is used books locally. So get plugged in if you're homeschooling to some online local homeschool groups, Facebook groups. A lot of them do run curriculum sales, used sales, where all the mamas can come and just bring their huge load of books as they finish them out, and they can share them with other folks. That's a big one for us. And local resource centers. So we have a homeschool resource center in town that actually has a resource room. Sometimes they sell from that room, but really you can come and just peruse any curriculums that you want to, just so you kind of know what you're looking at before you make that purchase. But in terms of older kids, it's those textbooks that are killer. renting them is usually cheaper. Just giving you the tip on the fact that you may end up having to do a double rental for a full class year. So we've done some AP and some dual enrollment that have used actual textbooks, but that's a full year-long class where a college is only going to be one semester. That's who they're set for, not for the high schoolers. So you're going to end up renting twice. And Lily is chiming in and saying she got all of her college textbooks through eBay. That is still a great option. I actually grabbed some of our curriculum through eBay as well, Lily, and looking for just used options that are there. Some of our curriculums are very out of print too, which does not help us when you've got kiddos that are in a 10-year span and you're using the same curriculum that you used 10 years ago. Well, that is no longer in print because these publishers love to make second and third and fourth editions. So that's some of my challenge as I go hunting, but hopefully you won't deal with that. We are just trying to get all the money's worth out of that first original purchase. That's really the way it goes. Other options, Michelle's chiming in with some, check Half Price Books, McKay's Books in Chattanooga or Knoxville. Michelle, it's funny that you say that. We had a friend that just shared a huge picture of McKay's Books in Knoxville that they could spend days there. So coming up twice for me in like the matter of 3 days. It has to be an incredible bookstore. We drove through there, but we didn't stop recently. We'll have to go back. So do I decide what textbooks to use for them? Yes, Carrie. So when you're homeschooling, you are the one deciding all of that, which is magical. We do work through, we have an accountability group that we're with. So we do kind of throw out, these are our plans. And I guess they would say that's horrible. They've never done that. You just need to have your basic subjects covered. So math, reading, English, the gist. And as long as you have those covered, you're set. So reading, they make these pretty simple on you. I say I have a first grader, but she usually does mostly second grade. So this is most of our stuff. And we've done it all with all of our kids. So when she's number 5, she doesn't get a lot of change up. And I don't really have to do a lot of rethinking either because we've already thought through it all. But yes, that is part of homeschooling, is that you get to decide what they're going to do. I won't make it sound like a chore. It's kind of fun once you start to really research the options that are out there. But you also get to purchase it all, which is, where the savings comes in and trying to figure out how to get deals on it all if you can. And other folks are chiming in too on McKay's. I think we're going to have to take another road trip. We literally just drove through there. We were in Chattanooga last week for our kiddos. Our older kids were doing a week at Covenant College. And so we played in Chattanooga. I know you guys saw me on the drugstore video with a fun background that was all different. It was a very fun house, but it was only for a week. And we just drove through. So we'll have to go back through and just to go to McKay's. I'm all about a good used bookstore. Okay, guys, I think we've hit a lot of what I had on my list in terms of upcoming sales to watch. Just to kind of like finish us out, you've got back to school that is going to run until probably the 3rd weekend of August, maybe into the 4th. That last week in August is really going to be the start of Labor Day sales. So if you're waiting for something big, that's where Labor Day sales are going to come in. Our 3-day weekend deals, all going to pop in on Labor Day. But Labor Day sales are also going to bring us TVs. So I had that question earlier today. When can I buy a TV? Labor Day. Do not purchase a TV before Labor Day. That is college football kickoff weekend. And just like the Super Bowl, they're going to give us a ton of TVs to go with our new football games starting. So wait for any TVs if you can for Labor Day. The week before Labor Day, they'll also be on sale. That Labor Day sale kind of stretches out a little bit. Appliances, furniture, etc. As soon as Labor Day finishes, we get our summer clearance. We will also immediately get back to school clearance. And just to warn you, because we're talking back to school clearance is very fast. And it's a whirlwind, and a lot of people are ready for it. So that date that you're waiting for is literally the day after Labor Day weekend. Sometimes we even see Target jump the gun early, and as soon as you open up a Sunday Target ad and it no longer mentions back to school, which could be that last week in August, you need to go to the store. Target clearance is, you'll feel like it's almost Black Friday. People being a little too excited to grab whatever deals they can find on clearance, and they will go very quickly from 30 to 70% off. We rarely see back to school clearance hit 90%. So you want to go ahead and just jump at what you find, because by the time 70% rolls around, there isn't much left. So go ahead and get what you need now. I mean, don't be a clearance junkie on back to school, because you really will be left with like, wait a second, I'm still looking for a backpack and there aren't any more. That's the problem. But we will see some great clearance deals. For me, I become a little back to school clearance junkie specifically for our Operation Christmas Child boxes, all about whatever I can grab in the 5 and 10 cent range. But we will see some great prices. Staples and Office Depot, they will clearance their items also after Labor Day. They'll hold on a little longer because they don't have, grills and other things to get rid of. This is really it. But they will clearance their items. It'll just be after Labor Day weekend. And most of their clearance will be online. You will see much larger clearance deals for Staples and Office Depot online than you will see in the local store. Just so you kind of know where to look for the best deals on those. And I know we're totally ahead on that one, but just so you kind of have it in the back of your mind what your options are for clearance if there are some extra items that you're wanting to get. Michelle's saying another cheap way to make workbooks last with homeschooling is to try to use dry erase markers and clear transparency sheets and cover the page. Yes, I agree. Or we will even honestly make some copies, not always on textbooks, but if I'm trying to make something last through a kid. I've also dug some things out this year. I literally spent 4 days, it felt like, erasing the first few pages of this book because 10 years ago we decided to use this book and then we didn't finish it. Look, I did a great job. You can't even see where they wrote in it, can you? Nope. It was our own kids, but I sat here erasing it so that my current kid could use it because we're going to try it again. So, all about it. Whatever it takes to make something stretch or work a little longer. And seriously, we use dry erase a lot. I was here for school, so I just decided to make my list of what we were going to talk about on our school dry erase board. The other easy way to do this is sheet protectors. So grabbing a pack of 10 or 20 sheet protectors, which happen to be 20 cents at Walgreens this week, if you want a deal on them, and then sticking those worksheets that maybe they need to do a lot. Maybe they are just memory worksheets. We do that a lot with our classical conversations. Having them in a sheet protector, not only do I not have to make a bunch of copies for the same worksheet that you are supposed to keep working until you memorize it, but it makes it easy for them too. We're saving paper. And it is a great way to make something last a little longer to get into a second or a third kid. And Carrie, that's kind of the joy of homeschooling. She's saying it's amazing that at the second grade level and first grade is that you can sit there and mess with what they're taking until they are challenged. And so for her, we found kindergarten books kind of can be a little boring if your kid's already reading. So a lot of her kindergarten work started as first grade work, and that's why she's in second grade now. But that's the joys of being the homeschool mama, is you can sit there and kind of do what they need to do to keep them engaged. Okay. Oh, and Karen, I'm glad you like Saxon Math. That is what my husband used, so that is what we have used with everybody, down to my older kids that have now graduated out of the books. So we're done with them on their level. Okay, guys, I think we've hit the mark. We've hit all the things that I came with. Patricia's saying, by the way, before we end, Patricia says she hit clearance for the following year for next year's school supplies. And that's what I love to do too if I can. A lot of times, most of what I hit though is for us to end up donating to Operation Christmas Child or whatever. And speaking of, some of the great clearance deals that I did grab last year were in the drugstores. So don't forget about those stores either. As we talk about Target and Office Depot and Staples, I can't leave them off the list. CVS and Walgreens will run some great clearance back to school deals. And they will also all be in that same window right around Labor Day. So that's what you're waiting for. Along with those clearance deals for the drugstores will also be all their summer gear. So anything they have left in their random beach towels and the things that who knew you went to a drugstore to purchase, that's the time to purchase those as well for them. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hop off. I will be back on tomorrow at 11 for all the drugstore deals. I'm still hurriedly typing in all the Walgreens month-long deals, but I'll get them finished before we go live tomorrow at 11. So I will hopefully see you guys there. If you can't catch it live, you can catch it after the fact because it's always recorded in there for you on Facebook and on YouTube. So thanks for joining me tonight. We'll be back next week. I don't remember even what our topic is, but we've got one, don't worry. And we will keep on going with your questions and with whatever topic it is that I come with. For next Monday night, same time, 8:30 p.m. every week. So thanks for joining me, guys. I hope you have a great rest of